let's talk brushes. All right, what do I use for painting my watercolors? So here are some of the brushes that I use. And so let's just kind of go through some of the different kinds of brushes. So we have round brushes. So they look like so, and they come in different sizes. And we have flat brushes, right? So these are flat brushes. And they do different things, and you'll use both of them in the course of your painting. So they come in different sizes. So this is what's called a number 12 brush. This is a number 8 brush. And you can see that there's different sizes. Let's get them right about there. And 12 brush, 8 brush. And I think this is a 4 brush. These are just from Michaels. They're just a basic brush. I actually really like these brushes. These are the Princeton brushes. They work fine. They're versatile. Brushes can come in a variety of different hairs and springiness. There are sable brushes that are expensive or more expensive than there are nylon brushes. Like some of my flats are just plain nylon brushes. They all work different degrees. They do different things. You'll get more used to them. As you get more experience, you'll sort of upgrade to some better brushes because they're more responsive and they give better lines and they're more consistent and they hold more water. So these are the round ones, and they're just used, basically this is your main brush that you will use. But I also use flat brushes. So they come again in a variety of sizes. This is a 1-inch one. This is 3/4. This is a 1/2 inch. This is a 1/4 inch, another 1/4 inch. These is really great for doing little detail, laying down areas of color. The larger ones are doing mostly for washes and doing washes. I'll demonstrate all of this in a moment. There are also toothbrushes. We'll use them to do a little splatter in a second. And I even have this brush. This is a water brush. I use it if you're really traveling light and you want just one of the little Winsor Newton color palettes, little Cotman color palettes. And this, you can see there's water in there. You can do 4 or 5 or 6 paintings with this alone. This works really well. It's just a nylon tip, cleans really easily. Cap goes on like so, and it unscrews to put more water in it, like so, and they work great. It's great. I love this. It's just it's the perfect thing. Doesn't have full versatility of a regular brush, but this will do a lot of stuff. All right, let's lay out some colors. So I just have my palette here. I'm going to get this here so you can see it a little better. Put down, just spray my paints so they're nice and loose. So my round brush will do, I'll wet it. Just take some Payne's Gray. And you can that's just doing a little dry brush, get a little bit wetter, get a little more paint in there. And we can do thin, we can do thicker, all that kind of stuff. And just different width will do different things. So let's just use the smaller brush. I can do more detail work. I get pretty skinny with that. I'm on sort of a cold pressed paper here. So this just does like so. If I have a bigger brush like this, I can use this for laying in a sky, maybe. We'll just put in some water here. My water's a little dirty. We'll get some blue. And I can just lay out large areas of color. And I can kind of blend this together. So this is an essential brush. I usually, on my big flats, I will use the 3/4. It's probably used more than this bigger brush. Like so. And then if I go to the smaller one, the smaller flats, this is great for, let's say we had a box or a window or something like so. This brush, I can get in here with some good detail. I can kind of hold that edge. So it becomes a very useful brush for doing when I need to put in a good edge on something. See, I can do that with that brush. Works fantastic for that, where it might be a little bit easier, not quite as easy with this brush, because I can't quite maybe get in there. Let's get a little more paint in there. So it's just a little looser. But they all have their uses. They all work really, really well. This is a cool brush. This is called a rigger brush. It was used for doing rigging on boats and things. But it's also a really good brush for doing, let's bring some new paper here, a nice steady, look at that, nice steady line. If you need to do some lines, telephone, wires going between You know, you have a telephone pole here and a telephone pole here, and there's wires going in between. Let's put something on that side and this side for the pole. This is the pole. And then I want to do lines in between, like so, right? Works really cool. Brushes also come different handles. This is a wooden handle. These, I like these. This is a portable brush. This comes apart, and you can sort of just put it in here, and it's great for traveling. You can put it in your kit. It's not going to get damaged. One of the keys about brushes is that you want to make sure your tips and things don't get damaged. Don't just throw them into your kit bag or whatever you have. You want to protect the ends. So you want to clean them. You want to keep them dry. You want to protect them, put them in some little case or something that just to protect them. So we also have, let's see, here's the watercolor brush, just to show you that. So this one, you just kind of squeeze a little water out through the end of it, and it'll go like so. So we also have toothbrush, kind of cool. We're doing splattering, goes like so, and you can just sort of splatter. Look at that, cool splattering that goes on. So very, very versatile. So those are the basic brushes. You even have Chinese brushes. There's a lot, but your basic brushes will be the rounds, will be the flats, and then maybe a specialty brush that you use in different sizes. So anyways, there's brushes. All right, make sure you give a follow. I need a follow. I'm only 30 away from getting my Magical 1000, and you can also pick up the 1000 Creative Ideas for Painting Watercolor. That's linked in the bio, and we'll see you next time on the next video. All right, bye-bye.